Thank you for joining me again outside in this beautiful woodland garden. Today's mat yoga class is going to focus on pausing and being present. So throughout our practice today, just remember, listen to the body, listen to the breath, feel the air as it moves across you, and just be here right now and put all other thoughts aside. And it really is a gift to the spirit when we practice presence. So let's get into a comfortable seated position to begin. Just roll the shoulders back and down, opening up through the chest. Just breathing some deep, easy breaths here. And then roll the shoulders back and down, relaxing them away from the ears. Now we're going to start off with alternate nostril breathing in today's practice. So what I'd like you to do is take your right hand, placing it right in front of your face, palm toward you. Let's go ahead and take the middle three fingers and point them downward. So we're just dealing with our thumb and our ring finger here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our thumb and close the right nostril gently. And we're going to inhale up through the open nostril. Now use your pinky finger to close the left side, open up the right, and exhale down. Inhaling up the right nostril. Closing with the thumb, open the pinky finger, exhale down. Let's continue. Inhale up. Close with the pinky finger, exhale down. Inhale. Close, exhale. 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 Inhale. Close and completely exhale. Resting both hands gently on the knees. You're welcome to close your eyes here if you'd like. Let's just resume some easy, deep breathing. Noticing the sound of our breath as we breathe in through the nose and exhale out through the nose. And as we notice the sound of our healthy breathing, we allow ourselves to let go of any stray thoughts, bringing ourselves to this present moment, right here, right now. And as we let go of those stray thoughts, we feel our forehead beginning to relax, our eyes, cheeks, and mouth relaxing, relaxing the neck and the shoulders, And right underneath our seat, we feel our own connection to the ground beneath us. And we imagine that we're drawing good energy up from the earth's surface, allowing it to fill all parts of our physical body and mind. And we find our hearts shining in gratitude, grateful to be sharing this practice together in this beautiful outdoor space. Throughout our practice tonight, we make a promise to ourselves to listen to the body at all times, easing up where needed, and giving ourselves a challenge when wanted. And we use each inhale to breathe peace and calm into the body and the mind. And with every exhale, we're letting go of judgment, competition, and even our own expectations. Let's take a few more cleansing and centering breaths. And when we're ready, let's slowly open our eyes. Now, let's gently make our way back up to a standing position here. Both feet flat on the ground. Again, we're going to roll the shoulders back just to open up the chest. And then we'll roll those shoulders all the way back and down. We'll bring both hands together at heart center. On the inhale, let's reach one arm up toward the sky as the other pushes down toward the ground. And on the exhale, we come back to the heart. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, coming back to heart center. Starting to feel the chest opening up for us. Breathing in lots of good, nourishing oxygen, filling up those lungs today. One more time on each side. Now let's reach back with both arms as if you're holding onto a beach ball, and on the exhale, rounding through the spine. Let's inhale and open the chest, exhaling and rounding. One more time in each direction, opening the chest and then rounding through the spine, bringing all those arms down, relaxing them. Let's hold the arms down to our side, inhaling tall, pull in the abdominals, and on the exhale, a tea kettle reach. Inhale, lift, lift, lift with the trunk, and on the exhale, reaching down. feeling that nice stretch through the side body on each side. Let's use one more tea kettle reach per side. Now we'll lift all the way up. Let's inhale, both arms up overhead. On the exhale, a little twist as we bring those arms down. So this is our snow angel twist. We inhale to the center and we exhale as we're twisting. One more snow angel twist on each side. Now let's bring those arms all the way down and let's take a wider stance with each foot. So make sure that when you're in this wide stance, the toes are pointing on the diagonal, the knees are bent, but we can still see our toes down there. Let's inhale both arms up to a star, and on the exhale, bring the elbows in toward the ribs. Inhale, reach out. Exhaling down. Imagine you could touch the corners of the sky if you just reach those arms out long enough. And we notice that with these big muscle systems and this flowing movement, we're going to start to warm up the body here. So remember, if you're ever getting too warm, just exhale out through the mouth. Let some of that hot air escape. One more of these moonflowers. Now let's turn these into hinging sunflowers. So a little bend in the knees, hinge forward with a flat back, and rise up. One more sunflower hinge. Inhaling, arms up. Now let's lower the arms to shoulder height, palms up for sun. Inhaling up. Two more times, opening up to sun pose. Now let's take those arms all the way down, stepping up to the top of the mat. Let's inhale, both arms overhead, a little bend in the knees as we swan dive to a forward fold. And on the inhale, let's lift to monkey with a flat back. Exhaling to forward fold. Little bend of the knees as we rise up. Swan diving down. Inhaling to monkey. Exhaling, forward fold. Rising tall. Swan dive. Following our breath. Two more times using our monkey flow. Now Now let's take a swan dive down and hold that forward fold. Just holding it for about 4 breaths. Try to take a moment here to straighten the legs as much as is comfortable tonight. Relax through the neck and the head. And then we'll step all the way back for downward dog. Reaching those heels as close to the ground as is comfortable for you. Remember, the hands are stretched out like starfish, each one of those hands. Let's start to pedal through the heels here. Alternating heel presses. Feeling that wonderful stretch through the lower legs, a nice extension through the spine. Now let's reach both heels back and down, gently lowering the knees to the ground, stacking right up into an all-fours pose here. Let's go right into our cat and cow. Let's inhale, arching the back for cow. Exhale, curling up into cat. Hearing the sound of our healthy breathing, remembering that cat and cow is a wonderful way to stretch out and also lubricate the spine. Curling up into our cat pose one more time. Coming back to a all-fours position here. Let's reach those hips back toward the heels and stretch the arms out long in front of you for child's pose, Balasana. Feeling that nice stretch through the back. Now on the next inhale, let's shift the body forward to a strong kneeling plank. Shoulders are over the wrists, we lock in the abdominals, and we lower ourselves down to the ground. Now on the inhale, let's lift the chest away from the ground for cobra, like a snake in the grass. And then lift the entire body back into child's pose. Again, let's inhale forward, kneeling plank. Exhale down, keep the elbows close to the body. Inhaling to cobra. Exhaling, taking it all the way back. Inhaling forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhaling back. 2 more times following the breath. When you're done, let's return to our child's pose here. Take a breath. And then let's shift forward back to all fours and lower the forearms down to the mat, preparing for dolphin. We want to lace the fingers. The elbows are about shoulders width apart, curling the toes to the ground. Let's press those heels back and down. Hips up high for dolphin. Now when we're ready, let's gently lower the knees again, unlace the fingers, coming back to child's pose. Maybe we'll take a chance to walk the hands over to the diagonal, stretching out one side of our trunk. Then walking those hands back to the center and over to the other side. Coming all the way back to the center. Now from an all fours position, let's take our right foot and step it all the way up to the hands. And you can choose to stay low for a kneeling lunge, or you can come up onto that bent knee. You also have an option of cactus arms or taking the arms up very high. Finding our balance here, engaging the abdominals. A good stretch for the hips as well. Now let's hinge forward. Let's take that right foot back. This time bring the left foot forward. When you're ready, decide which level you want to be on. Down low, up on the knee, taking those arms up high if you'd like. Listening to the body at all times. Noticing how we're feeling. Noticing the words that we say to ourselves as we're moving through the poses. Hopefully we're giving ourselves words of encouragement throughout the practice. And if we find that we're not, let's just shut down any negative talk and start with some good cheers. Cheers of praise. Now let's hinge forward again. Let's take that foot back. Let's come into our child's pose. Take a couple breaths here. Now when we're ready, let's lift the hips, curling our toes to the ground and pressing all the way back to downward dog. Hips are up high, our hands are down low. On the next inhale, let's come forward to a high plank or kneeling plank. Lower with control, lifting to cobra or upward dog, then lift the whole body back, downward dog. Hop up, step up, or walk up to your hands. Rise tall as you inhale, and as we exhale, let's sit back into a strong chair. Inhaling the arms up, swan diving to a forward fold. Stepping back, downward dog. Coming forward to the plank of choice, and we lower with control. Lifting, and come all the way back to downward dog. Moving up to our hands, rising as we inhale, exhaling to chair, inhaling arms overhead, swan diving down, stepping back. Coming forward to the plank of choice, lower with control, lift to upward dog or cobra, curl the body back, downward dog. Moving up to our hands, rising tall, and exhaling to a chair pose. Now let's keep moving through the sun salutations. Take your time. Let's find our own pace. And let's just observe how we're feeling as we move through our poses. these sun salutations, warming up the body in a good, positive way. Now when you're finished, bring those arms down. Grab a drink if you have one. Ooh. All right. So let's find our feet again, hips distance apart on the mat. Let's take our right arm, reach up high. I'm saying right, but I should be saying left. Reach high and take a side bend. So here's the good news, gang. If I ever say right, I mean left, you and I both know that if we do it on one side of the body, we're always going to come back and do it on the other side. So even when I go take a class, if I go the wrong way, I just correct it and go the other way next time. When you're ready, let's use these trunk muscles. Lift, lift, lift. Lower that arm down. Now let's take the other arm up, reach as high as you can, and a nice side bend. One more breath. Now inhale, lift, 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 and lower that arm down. Let's bring the left arm across the chest. Use your right arm to hug it in close. Half knot. Now when you're ready, release that arm down, bring the right arm across, hug it in close. We may notice that our heart is beating extra fast after all those sun salutations. We're warmer in the body. And these are all very good things because it means that our heart rate is up, which is good exercise for us. But also the muscles are warm and nice and stretchy. One more breath here in half knot. Now relax that arm, roll the shoulders back. If you have a yoga strap close by, I want you to grab it here. We're going to use the yoga strap for chest expansion pose. So it helps us get a little deeper into the pose. So take your strap and fold it in half. Doesn't have to be perfectly folded. And just hold your strap behind you. Let's inhale and lift up through the shoulders and then roll them back and down. And already we're feeling pretty wide open through the chest. Now let's reach those arms back as far as is comfortable. And that'll help us get a little deeper into chest expansion pose. And of course, if it is feeling too intense, you could always lower the hands back toward your body. So think about what you're looking for today. Now let's inhale tall. And on the exhale, put a little bend in the knees and let's hinge forward from the hips. And we can straighten those legs as much as is comfortable today. You could also choose to keep reaching those arms further away from the body for more of a stretch. Now when you're ready, swan dive the arms down. You can just drop your strap off where it is. Let's straighten those legs out as much as is comfortable. Now, if you're like me and you're smack dab in the middle of your mat, what we're going to do is kind of just walk ourselves up toward the top of the mat here. Still holding on to this forward fold. It's almost like a bear walk. Now, let's take each foot and step all the way back for downward dog. Using the full length of our mat here. Finding our firm foundation through each foot and each hand. Engaging the abdominals here. Now from here, let's take the left foot and step it all the way up to the hands. Lower the right foot where it is, and let's gently rise up into Warrior One. Now I'm going to use cactus arms this time for Warrior One, but you're welcome to keep your arms any way that you like. You could have hands on hips, prayer pose, whichever suits you best. Looking out into the distance with a soft gaze through the eyes, relaxing the forehead, eyes, cheeks, and mouth. Now from here, let's bring the hands to the hips. Very gently, we're going to lift off that back foot and find our balance over the front leg for Warrior Three. Now I can keep the hands at the hips or stretch them out like airplane wings. And another option is to take them long beyond the crown of your head. So lots of options here in Warrior Three. Let's take 2 more breaths. And when you're ready, bend through the front knee, gently land back in Warrior One. Now, let's pick up that right foot and gently step back into Warrior Two. So my left toes are facing forward. My right foot is parallel to the back of the mat. We're looking out over the right middle finger here, left middle finger. Now, if you want, we can add a little flow here with a flowing Warrior Two, or you can choose to keep things still. Two more breaths. Now let's come all the way back to Warrior Two. Now from here, let's straighten that left leg very gently. Reach that left arm forward like you're looking off the edge of a mountain, and bring that left hand to either rest on top of the left leg or just inside for triangle. Reaching the right arm skyward. Trying to open up the chest by rotating that right shoulder back as far as is comfortable. Now on the next inhale, let's lift, lift, lift all the way back to Warrior Two. Stepping up to the top of the mat. Let's take both arms overhead. A little bend in the knees as we swan dive to forward fold. Lifting to monkey as we inhale. Exhaling, forward fold. Rising tall as we inhale. Swan diving down. Inhaling to monkey. Exhaling, forward fold. Rising. 2 more times through. Coming all the way back upright, let's bring those arms down. Let's make sure the feet are hips distance apart, and let's take the left foot back. Getting ready for warrior one. Turning the hips to face forward. Choosing any arm options you like. Noticing how strong we feel in warrior one, and at the same time very calm and peaceful. Now when we're ready, let's bring the hands to the hips, preparing for warrior three. Remember, we're going to lift off the back leg, find your balance over that front leg. And if you lose your balance, you just remember, you can just start again. Choose your arm options that you want to use here. Three more breaths. When you're ready, come on back to warrior one. Let's open up to warrior two now. Looking out over the right middle finger. Decide if you want to flow the pose or keep things still. It's yogi's choice. Two more breaths. Now let's come back to warrior two. Whenever you're ready, gently straightening that right leg, reach out, looking over the side of a mountain, find your triangle pose. Ready, let's rise up, relax those arms, step all the way up to the top of the mat, shake those legs out. Again, let's grab a drink if you have one. All right, now we're going to have a little bit more fun with balance here. So we're going to use eagle pose, which has lots of options for the legs and for the arms. So the first thing we'll do is take the left foot and cross it over the right foot at the ankle. So this is one option for the legs. You can just keep them crossed at ankles and both feet on the ground. Another option would be to take that left knee and rest it right above the right knee. Some people like to squeeze this left foot in and maybe tuck the left toes behind. So lots of choices there. Now I'm going to look down at my top leg, which is the left one. I'm going to take my opposite arm up high. That's my right arm. And I'm going to swoop the left arm under, stack up those bent elbows. And you might back the hands up back to back or come around and twist it to connect the palms. Whichever you like. And then I'm going to try to lift those elbows up to shoulder height. Staying long through the trunk. breathing rather than holding the breath for eagle. Now when you're ready, relax the arms, unwrap the legs. So let's try it on the other side. So again, this time we're taking the right foot over the left. It can be at ground level, it can be at knee level, whichever you prefer. The left arm goes up high, swoop the right arm under, find your eagle bind, whatever suits you best today. Lift those elbows up to shoulder height. Keep those abdominals engaged. They help with our balance. 3 more breaths. Now relax the arms, relax the legs. Let's lace the fingers, lifting the arms to shoulder height, turning the palms outward. And we can continue to lift those arms as high as is comfortable for us, upholding heaven posture. Relaxing through the neck and the shoulders, enjoying this lengthening for the spine. Now when you're ready, bring the arms to shoulder height, turn the palms over, stirring up the air beside us. Let's move up to the top of the mat here. Now, let's inhale, both arms overhead. Put a little bend in the knees as we swan dive to a forward fold. Again, we take a moment here to straighten the legs as much as is comfortable. If you want, you might wrap your arms around the back of the legs for a little hug, or bind with your big toes if you're down in that area. You could also use ragdoll, where you hold on to your opposite arm right above the elbow. Let's take 4 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, relax your bind. Let's go ahead and step all the way back for downward dog. Reaching those hips up high. Now let's gently take down one knee and then the other. Let's stretch back into our child's pose for a moment. Taking a handful of breaths here. Now when you're ready, let's come forward to all fours. Now from here, we're going to use puppy pose, which is very similar to downward dog in the upper body, but the hips are going to stay exactly where they are right now. So all we're going to do is just reach those arms down, just slide them down. The head comes down low. Now from here, let's take our left arm, reach it underneath your right arm for thread the needle, palm up to the sky. It might be comfortable for you to lay your head down on the mat. You don't have to though if it doesn't feel like a comfortable range of motion. This is a nice way to stretch out your upper back and thread the needle. Now let's bring that left arm back to where we started. Take the right arm under. Same thing on the other side. Now let's bring that right arm back, stretching into child's pose for 3 more breaths. Now let's walk our hands back toward the knees. Go ahead and bring yourself to a seated position here on the mat. All right, so we're gonna have a little more fun with balance just from a seated position. So I thought we would use flowers since we're outside in the woodland garden today. So start off with our feet in butterfly pose. Now from here, we're gonna take one arm and put it under the bend of your knee and turn your palm up toward the sky. And then we'll take the other hand under and turn that one up as well. And then this is where you're gonna tiptoe yourself back, pick up one foot and then the other, and let's try to find balance on our sitting bones here. So we're engaging our abdominals. That's gonna help with our balance. Nice. So here we get to think of ourselves as a beautiful flower blossoming here in the woods. Let's take 4 more breaths. Now come on down gently, take those arms out, and just find an easy seated posture for you. I like using the seated balance poses because we're still strengthening our trunk muscles, we're practicing balance, we're using our focus, and I think they're also pretty fun. So now let's take our right hand, resting it on the mat beside us. Let's inhale the left arm, reaching as high as you can, and let's take a little side bend here. Now let's inhale, lift, 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 and exhale that arm down. Now let's try it on the other side. Inhaling the right arm up, a nice side bend. Lifting, lifting, bring that arm down. Now let's take our right leg out long in front of us. Bring your left foot in closer to your bottom, and we're gonna take that bent knee out to the side. This is a forward fold pose called Janu Shirshasana. So let's inhale tall, engage the abdominals, and on the exhale, let's walk ourselves down into a fold. You can rest your hands anywhere on that straight leg that feels comfortable. Some people like to use a bind if you want to hook around the big toe. So let's think about being long from the hips through the spine and through the crown of the head, and also folding forward at the same time. Now on the inhale, let's lift the body back upright, switching sides. Let's take that right foot in. Left leg is long, flexing that foot that's out in front of you. Take that right knee over to the side. Inhale, engaging, and exhale, and walk it on down. And when you're ready, let's walk ourselves back upright. Now, let's cross legs here for an easy seated pose. And we're going to use owl today since we're outside again. So remember, owl is a seated twist, and the hands are going to kind of hover over to one side. So let's inhale, sit up tall, engaging those abdominals. The hands hover over. Now when you're ready, let's come back to the center, one hand on each knee. Let's inhale tall, engaging, and on the exhale, we're twisting, twisting toward the other side. Now let's come all the way back to the center. Grab your strap because we're going to want it close by our mat. And I want you to scooch on down toward the top of the mat. Hold on behind the knees and roll down one vertebrae at a time. And let's hug the knees in closer to the chest. Releasing the lower back. We might even rock the knees side to side or circle them around, whatever feels comfortable for you. Now let's keep our left knee bent and keep the right knee bent as well, but put the right foot on the ground. I'm going to reach over and grab my strap and put it across the middle of my left foot. And you can either hang on to your strap like horse reins or just hold them both in one hand. Let's try to straighten that left leg as much as it's comfortable straightening today. So we're looking for a challenging stretch here behind that left leg, but of course without any discomfort. Now if you'd like, you can take that leg over on the slight diagonal, much like our half wide leg straddle. Leg all the way back to the center, and let's switch sides. So we bring the left foot down to the ground, the right foot reaches skyward. Remember to flex the foot that's up in the air, and that will also help stretch out those muscles behind the legs. Now you could take that leg out to the diagonal if you like. Now bring that leg back to the center. Take your loop off, but I want you to hold on to your strap. Let's just rest the strap right across the belly here and walk your feet together so the feet are side by side and the knees are side by side. Now let's open up into a reclined butterfly pose. Butterfly is always offering us that nice hip opener. Now, you have a choice here. You can either stay right here in butterfly or take your strap into your hands, lift that strap straight up over your head. And then if you want, you can take it all the way down to the ground beyond your head. And that turns our reclined butterfly into a modified fish pose with a little more chest opening. Now when you're ready, take those arms back overhead. Go ahead and put your strap beside you. Gently lift those butterfly wings back upright. And with our feet about hips distance apart as best we can tell, let's put both arms down on the mat, preparing for bridge. On the next inhale, let's gently lift, lift, lift those hips toward the sky. Keeping the shoulders connected to the ground beneath us. Now gently, gently reconnect one vertebrae at a time. And here we get to find a comfortable position for Shavasana. So you can either extend the legs long to the ground, letting the feet fall apart in relaxation, or you can choose to have your knees bent if you'd rather. And all that we need to do in Shavasana is to breathe comfortably and to be present. So let's enjoy this gift of mindful rest at the end of all of our physical work. our fingers and our toes, gently, gently waking them. And let's begin to breathe a little more deeply, filling all parts of this physical body with good waking energy. And we find our hearts shining with gratitude like a beautiful flower here in this woodland forest. Grateful for our shared practice, grateful for this orchestra of sounds around us as we practice Shavasana today, and always grateful for this body and this breath that carries us everywhere we go. Now when we're ready, let's gently bend the knees and hug them in a little closer to the chest. Again, releasing the lower back. You might rock those knees again just to massage it in a gesture of self-care. And then whenever you're ready, let's carefully roll the entire body over to one side on the mat. Each of us breathing in the peace, the calm, and the focus from our practice and from everything around us. And exhaling all of the warmth, kindness, encouragement, and love that we have for each other, for the world around us, and for ourselves. With our eyes still closed, as we're ready, let's gently make our way back up to an easy seated posture on our mats. And I invite each one of us to bring the palms of our hands together at heart center in Anjali Mudra. Let's start to rub the hands vigorously, warming them today. And let's use these warm hands to gently cover our closed eyes. And that wonderful heat that we find radiating there is inviting our eyes to slowly open, and we bring our hands to rest upon our laps. Clear minds, kind words, compassionate hearts. Namaste.
Namaste.